Okay, let's go ahead and dive into day number 15. So we're almost halfway through. So after I'm done today, I'll be halfway through this month's challenge. I can't believe that it's already the 15th of October. But anyway, I am recording it and I am unmuted. So hopefully everything will go off without a hitch for this video. So today I'm going to continue with collage. I've been really digging using the collage, and but I did a little bit of research for this, I guess you could say. I looked back at a monster that I did a long time ago in paint, and I thought doing something like that would be interesting. So it's going to be another kind of selfie view, but it's a little bit different than what I've done. So I'm kind of excited to try this and see what comes about from it. So anyway, let's go ahead and turn it over and we'll go ahead and get started. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working with the paper again today. So I've got my colored paper, I've got my mixed media paper, and I've got my scrap paper, my glue paper, and I've got a pencil and scissors and my glue stick here somewhere. So anyway, I'm ready to go ahead and dive in. And so I'm going to make a monster, and the face is going to fill up like almost the entire space. Not like the first collage one I did. So I'm going to have a little bit of space on this side, I think, that's going to be the background. So I'm not going to cover the entire piece. And I'm going to use this. This is a dark blue, a real dark kind of navy blue. Excuse me. And so I'm going to use that. And this time, though, I just want to cover up part of it because I'm really thinking like the face is going to be kind of, the end of it's going to be over here. So just want to make sure that I have enough space. That's kind of the big concern. And that's probably good. And just trace it. And then we'll cut it. Alright, so just to have kind of a background, this nice dark blue will be a good background, and I think I'm going to use orange, yellows, and reds for the actual monster. Okay. So if, since I'm going to cover most of it with paper, I don't really see the need in covering the whole thing. So if the face is gonna come over here, I don't need to cover the whole thing. So let me just go ahead and make sure. All right, so put some glue on that. And sometimes it's just easier to pick it up and make sure it's all lining up. Okay. So I want the piece to come over here, and I'll kind of cut it out. I'll do the mouth and the head part separately. So I'm going to use this orange, and so the way I want to do this, I'm going to do it very similar because again I'm not going to use the whole piece. So I'm just going to cut part of this out. Okay. So basically this is going to give me a piece to start with. Okay. Alright, so the way I'm going to do this is, I'm just kind of looking, yeah. So I'm going to flip it over, so that way this was the straight edge, and then that can get glued down like that. Alright, actually, you know what? Let's flip it over. But yeah, so this is the straight edge, this was a straight edge. And I have my pencil mark here, but that's okay, because let me do this. I am going to flip it over so I can draw on it. But again, I'm going to kind of think about in reverse. That's the thing with this, is just thinking about it in reverse. So I want to take off just a little bit, make a kind of a corner like that's the top of his head. And then I want it to slant in a little bit. Don't know if that's too much. I don't think so. No, that's going to be fine. And then I can just trim off that little bit. Okay. Alright, then that's going to go down like that. So I'll get glued down, you know, so here's the monster. I'm going to have the mouth kind of come out here, and going to have some big eyes. Actually, one of the eyes is going to go off the side here, and then have a little horn over here. So I'm not worried about the mouth right now. Let's go ahead and think about the horn, because again, that's going to get kind of glued underneath. So I'm thinking, let me think. I'm going to go ahead and do red. And then we'll just cut out a little. Again, I always kind of do this little disc, I guess, maybe is a good way of saying it. So it's going to go underneath, and then the horn's going to come out. And I'm thinking the horn might come out and curl underneath. So again, I'm basing this on another monster, but I'm not trying to copy it. Actually, it's a different color. And I painted the original one. It was all done in a... Oh, what am I doing? I just started putting glue underneath it because I was talking. So let's go and leave that aside. Let's go ahead and cut another one. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you start talking and then kind of forget what you're doing. Okay, I don't want to do that again. It's a little big. Alright, so it's going to go underneath like that. And put some glue on it. This time not covering the whole thing. And so I want the horn to come out and curl underneath. So let's get some white. Okay, so the way I've done it before works out really well. If I take this and flip it over and line it up, and then I can kind of see, okay, here's the edge of the paper. So then I can slide this underneath. And then I can think about how that horn's going to come out. I want it to go off the out of the picture frame a little bit. and then come on. Okay, something like that. And then when I move it, I can extend that a little bit. So this will be on the back of the horn, and I don't have to worry about erasing anything. So again, that'll kind of go like that. So flip it back over, and that's going to go like that. Put a little bit of glue down here. Oop, can't really see it. Didn't realize I wasn't in the picture frame. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. In the original, I have stripes on the horn, and I really kind of feel like I want to do some stripes. And I'm gonna. I think I have a slightly darker red. Let me double check. Yeah, so this is just a slightly darker red, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut some stripes. I have no idea if this is going to work. Okay. So I cut them much longer than I really needed. But the idea then is I can do, you know what, let's do this. This one's really thick. I think that will work. Let's cut this one down a little bit. So see, I was thinking something like that. We'll see if I can get it glued on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark each of these a little bit long. And then we'll see if I can get them positioned where I want them. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to move this off of here because I don't want anything to get stuck to that. Trim off these little ends. Let's go ahead and flip that. Alright. Alright, so that way I can leave it a little bit long and then I can trim them once I get it all glued down. Just make sure I get the glue on the right side. See, the problem is they move around a lot before you get glue on them. So once I get glue on them, I can really get them stuck where I want them. So this takes a while, but it can be a really interesting effect. Okay. And I was wondering if I would need another one. Okay. So now I can carefully trim these off. That one wasn't quite stuck. Alright. Now this is probably going to be the hard part. I probably could have just done that with a craft knife, cut it off. It's alright. Okay. Get that out of the way. Alright, now he looks like he's got a candy cane for a horn. Okay. Okay. Alright. So I'm trying to think. I don't think I have anything else I want to glue down on there. Because the mouth is going to go on. Eyes. Yeah, I don't have anything else that's going to go underneath. So he's not going to have any arms or anything. So I think he's alright. So turn him over and put lots of glue on the back. Okay. So there his basic head shape is. Like I said, I'm going to end up with like a really, really big eye here and then one here. The mouth is going to go across here. So I want to do the mouth part. The way I'm going to do that is I just need a rectangular piece. Cut that off. Okay, so just as long as it's flat. Alright, that's going up. So I just wanted to be pretty rough about this size. Okay. And then okay. So now I'm going to shape the mouth out of it. I'm going to do something a little bit different with the mouth. A lot of times I have it kind of with a frown or a grimace. So this time I'm going to give him slightly. I don't know if you really want to call it a smile. Okay. So that's going to go on there. Then he's going to have some teeth sticking out, so that's what's next. I think I can get some teeth out of this. Then one tooth is going to be kind of going off the frame, out of the frame. Something like that, I think. Alright, so I've done it before where once you have a position, if you just pull it up a little bit and then draw in a line, that gives you a line to put glue up to. Okay. Let's go ahead and flip this over. A little bit of glue. And just make sure that the pencil mark is hidden. Okay, and then that's good. I'll go ahead and glue his mouth down now. Just always trying to slather the glue on, get lots and lots of glue on there. I think that's probably the biggest mistake that people make whenever they're using the glue stick. Okay. So when I do the eyes, I'm going to have one really big one over here and then one here, and it's going to go over top of the horn. So that's why I think when I want to use the yellow. That should be good. There. So for the big one, remember, I want it to go off the edge a little bit. I don't know if that's... That might work. Let me come back to that. Okay. I think I want it bigger. I think. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Now just to cut out a circle. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Just wanted to adjust the exposure a little bit. It just seemed a little bright. Wish I would have realized that sooner. Okay. So yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, I think so. All right. So I want to do, I'm very fond of doing the like double rings, and so I want to do that again. But I want not so much of the yellow showing. So I'm going to do this. I think I did this before, where take this and I flip it over. Okay, and then I can trace it. So that's going to be the back, and then I can draw no idea what my dogs are barking at. There. Okay. So then the question is that too much or not enough? Let me see. All right. Yeah, no idea what they're barking at. Apparently somebody's at the door. They like to go nuts when somebody's at the door. Sorry that you get to hear my dogs barking. Okay. I think I want this one a little bit smaller. Here we go. I like that. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing with the white. So if I take this pink and flip it over, because I just want to have a little bit of the pink showing. Same thing with this one. The other one has a little bit of a point on it. Just going to cut these out kind of rough, and then that way they're easier to cut out because they're smaller. Oops, wasn't cutting out the right one. Okay, maybe trim a little bit off of this one. Okay. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. And then I can go ahead and start to glue this down. Alright, and then thinking about the color of his eyes, I'm thinking turquoise. If I can find a small piece. So I'm thinking that the eyes are, like the iris of the eyes will be complete circles. I think that's way too big. There we go. I think this one maybe a little bit smaller. There we go, I like that better. Get a little bit of black for the pupils. Those look pretty good. So one of the things I've been really more conscious of with the monsters, especially over this past week or so, is really where I place the eyes. I think I was mentioning about how Jim Henson talked about with the Muppets, I forget which one it was or if it was all of them, but just kind of slightly making them a little bit cross-eyed. A lot of glue squeezed out. Okay. Alright, so I've got the eyes. Now I gotta do the little tiny reflections. fingers are covered with glue. That one looks pretty good for that. Come on. Gotten real small. And it doesn't help that my fingers are a little bit covered with glue. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Okay, I just dropped it. It was on my finger and I was like, went to put it down and I dropped it. Who knows where it went. Alright, time to do another one. Maybe I can get the glue off my fingers. Oh! I found it not where I thought it was going to be. Alright, there we go. And then the last thing I want to do is put some spots on them. And I'm going to go back to that red that I used for... Actually... Yeah. Thought I had a piece up there I could use. So I want one of the spots to be kind of down here on the bottom. I like that. Put a few up at the top. my fingers are very, very much covered with glue. So it's really hard to place this the little pieces of paper to see what they're going to look like. That's all right. I'll just put it down, glue it down. And I think maybe one or two more spots. Okay. So he's looking pretty good. The only thing is that his lip right here blends in with the back. So I think let me go ahead and grab my colored pencils. Okay, I think let's try this bright orange. I gotta sharpen it first. So I don't know if this will be dark enough. If not, I've got some browns there I can use. Just trying to create a little bit of a shadow. And then I think this is a reddish brown that might help. You might need it a little sharper. So I want the tip to be pretty sharp so I can get right into where the two pieces of paper meet. Alright, so just a little bit, and that just kind of helps pop the jaw out from the rest of the head. Alright, so I think he's getting pretty done. And just need to sign it now. Alright, I can't really sign in the back because it's pretty dark, so I'm going to sign it right here. And I guess the last thing I need to do, I almost forgot, is I need to trim it. So I'll go ahead and trim it. Alright, so there it is. So day number 15. So anyway, so another cut paper monster. I really like them. I don't know if I'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe I'll do another collage, or maybe I'll start something different. But yeah, really enjoyed that. So Hopefully you have. And I've been saying, but I'll keep saying it. If you're making a monster, I would love to see it. So you can leave it in the comments or a link, depending on where you're watching this. And or tag me in social media. I'd love to see it. So thank you so much for tuning in for day 15 of my Monster a Day challenge. Really appreciate you being here. So hopefully you've been getting something out of this. Hopefully you've been making some fun monsters. Like I said, I'd love to see them. So but anyway, until tomorrow's going to be a live stream, so hopefully you can tune in, and I'll see you then. And until then, happy creating.